Hi everyone, I hope you are well. It's almost the end of 2023. I haven't done a video in a long time. I haven't been well. I've been sick on and off. The whole family have been sick. So I will make a video from an outing pretty soon. But until then, I will make this video, or it's already done when you see it. It's all about this one. You can see it's an alcohol stove, homemade. You've seen it in a few of my videos. Very simple construction. And I'm going to show you how I did it. It's not my own idea. It's actually made from a Fancy Feast stove, but they are smaller. I think they are called Fancy Feast because it's some kind of cat food, and they are a bit smaller. So this one is larger, and it can contain pretty much of liquid or alcohol. So you can make, I have made a chili con carne on this. It took, I don't know, half an hour or something. So it can cook for a pretty long time. Easy to do. It doesn't sound anything except from the sparks maybe, but yeah, it's pretty silent. So if you like it, maybe using it with a hammock or something, and you want to be quiet, you don't want to have any gas stove or anything like that, then it's a good solution. And as I said, it's pretty simple to make. So this is kind of the Fancy Feast, but it's a big one. Yeah, I got the idea from there, but I haven't seen the one I made actually. And what I have used is two kind of cans, like fruit cans, pineapple and peach. It could be tomato or whatever. It gotta be two cans that when you put them together, it's only a small difference between them here in the gap. So the gap can't be too big, then it won't work as well, I think. And I used these ones because I had them at home. We had made some ice cream and fruits, and that's what I had. Yeah, what you do, you take off the paper that's on these ones, and I'm going to show you how you measure the height of you see that this can is a bit bigger than my stove, and the inner size is this one, the longer, the higher stove can. What I've done is I put it this way, and I measured how much more I wanted. I think it's about, I think I used about 1.5 centimeter. I'm going to check that. Just, no, it's actually, sorry, it's 2.5 centimeter that I used between them. Height. So what you do, you cut. You can use a pencil or something and just move that around and measure so that you cut off and leave about between the cans, because you're maybe not using the same cans. So around the 2.5 I would say, depending on the size. So you have to check it. I'm just going to show you the functionality. If you're using other sizes of cans, then you might be in need of some own measurements. What I did, I took one of these, I took a pencil, I put it in a static way, and I just circled on a table around. So I got a circle that was exact the same the whole way around. The dog here, other dogs outside. Yeah, and then you take maybe a scissor. Don't take something from the kitchen or something that you don't want to break, because I used a scissor that was already bad. I was about to throw it away, so I took that. You could use a knife also, but the same there. Don't use a knife that you want to keep. Use some old knife, and then you can very easy cut in this metal can. That's the only thing that you need to cut, to be honest. Then you can either use a drill, just put a hole in one side above. I think it's down about a half centimeter. So somewhere between the 2.5 centimeter that I had, I put the hole. You could use another hole also. It worked for me, but sometimes I get a vacuum. So maybe another hole. I might do it myself on this one. You could put one on each side of the inner can. And I'm going to show you with this one, because I'm going to put a new woven glass fabric here. It's been a bit burned and I want to change it so it absorbs the alcohol better. So the inner one, I can actually take it apart here, you see, very easy. So this is the can. You just cut them as a size, at the size that you prefer. And if you look at the inside, you see the fabric. And I think I bought it about a big piece in a store that we have here, Biltema, very cheap. I think I paid about maybe 7 euro, around there somewhere. And you see that what I did was I took this one and I put the fabric around it until it was tight to put inside of the outer can, which is this one. So if you see, that's the same type of can. So, and I use, you might be able to use other material or fabrics, I don't know. I have tested with some other, but it worked for a few times and then it burned up. So this has been, I have used it now for about 2 years. So this fabric is the one I prefer and I recommend. So some kind of woven glass fabric. Glasfiberväv in Swedish. And I think they sold this, it's about 1 meter quadrat. I don't know it's called in English. So really cheap material. I will use this probably for the rest of my life. It need to be tight between the cans, so I put pretty thick layer of this glass fiber material. You see, it's comes apart now, but I don't know how thick. You might have to check that yourself, depending on what kind of cans you're using. You can use, I have tested and used a type of can. I threw it away now a few months ago, but I used, we didn't have the Fancy Feast type. So I used some other can that was also from some kind of aluminium or material. I think this is a bit harder than the one I used, but it worked. And this one is actually the one I prefer, from some kind of, I don't know, fruit cans or tomato cans or something else. Tuna maybe, I don't know, depending on the sizes. You might be able to. But the thing is, it needs to be able to just have a gap about, I don't know, if you have a few millimeters around the whole inner can, I think that is the preferred way. And then you, I'm not going to cut these, but you know how it works now. So what you see here, I think I might do this. You see that I have cut out some bits here on, I don't know how to show you here. 1, 2, 3, 4 on each side. So 4, you can use maybe more also. The reason why I did that is because I want the alcohol, when I put the alcohol inside, I want it to sip into the material that's around this, and that absorbs the alcohol. So it is possible sometimes, not always, but most of the time, if you let the material, this glass fiber, absorb the alcohol for a while, for a few minutes, then you can put the pot on and you can light the stove from the side of the stove. So you don't need to put some matches or whatever you're using, fire steel or whatever. So it's actually, yeah, I think it's pretty cool, because then you can put your pot, you can make whatever you're making, preparation for the food, cooking, and then afterward you just light from the side, and it will start burning around, and this material doesn't burn up. You see here, after 2 years, that's the only thing that you see. The whole inside is actually not burned, and it burns for quite some time. So it's a good solution, and cheap also, because the alcohol is one of the cheapest fuels that you can use for stoves here, at least here in Sweden. If you want something on the bottom, just to hold the stove so that it doesn't get too cold, especially using the preparation, then I folded aluminium folie. I don't know if it's called that in English, but yeah, some part of folie, or aluminium, or whatever you use it. Something that I can fold, make really small, like this. I'm using that as a bottom for the stove. And that actually works also on snow. So if I'm putting the stove on snow, then this will keep it from not melting down so fast, at least. I've been cooking with alcohol down to, this is what I have tested. I'm not saying that's the bar or the temperature that you can't go lower, but 13 or maybe more, 15, minus 15 Celsius. So you can go down with alcohol pretty low temperatures, and it works really well. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to use a scissor. I'm going to cut a part of new material from this one. Then I'm going to show you how it looks. Yeah, I have taken a scissor and I have the material here on my table. And it's of glass fiber, so you might be, if you're using gloves or something, it prevents you from getting the fiber into your skin. Because I have a part here that I already have cut the last time, I know almost what kind of length I want. And that's actually the length of this. I can show you, if you're using the same can, then you might want to know the length. Let me show you here. So it's about 34 centimeters length. And I'm going to cut this part. I'm going to show you later. I'm just cutting it off here. And be careful so you don't lose this on the floor if you have a dog, for example, because it's glass fibers. It might not be good for the dog or your animal at home, your pet. So. And the rest of this I'm going to leave for some other time, maybe in 2 years or something. This part is, I'm going to fold this part. I'm going to cut it a bit more just to get a better piece here. And I don't know exactly the total length of this. I'm just testing. What I want to do is I want on the upper corner of your stove, I want it not to be like this, cutted, and yeah, you see, you lose the fibers. So I'm going to fold it so that the upper side will be like this, rounded, and not lose the fibers. And then I'm going to push it down a bit. I need to check the height, of course. So for example, if you're using a new can, I have my old here. So I know these are almost the same height, or they are actually the same height. Yeah, I forgot one thing, which I already done on this one. You see that this inner corner or inner side of the can, here you have a sharp edge. You need to take your old bad scissor or whatever you're using, a knife or something, and then push it in, and every bit here need to be pushed inside down so it's flat against the inside of the can. So it get, you might see it here, I don't have any side because I have pushed it down. So this would not work as well. This works better when it's more flat. So yeah, just a tip. Every piece that is coming out, you just cut it away, cut it off. Makes it easier, like this. Then you need to try to push this part around this, and if you have measured already the 2.5 here, then you might use a pencil or something just to mark that, so that you know where to put the upper side of the glass fiber. So for example, if I already know the, you see here, if I make it like this, then I have a piece here that is, yeah, you see that. I have to cut that away, or at least yeah, cut a bit away so that I can push it down into the can here, because it's going down here. So that's what I'm going to do. And I already know that it's around 5 centimeters maybe that I have to cut off. So I'm going to cut that, and then I'm going to show you. Yeah, so now I have cut this piece, and I fold it. And as you can see, when I put it around the inner piece or inner can, that the hole should be above the glass fiber. And if I need to cut this, you should put it pretty tight around. You might have to cut more, of course. And if you look, you see that, to cut more here. If you look, you see that the glass fiber will be a bit above. I will push it down a bit more, but it will be above this height. And that is because I want to be able to light it from the side, so that it sticks a bit, like a ½ centimeter or something, up above the outer can. So I'm going to try to push this inside, and then I'm going to show you how it looks. I had to push it, and it took a while, but I got it inside. And you see that the ends here, I need to try to push the ends, because if not, I probably get fibers that will get loose. I need, I don't know, you could use the scissor, you could use the scissor and push it down, a knife or something else. I'm going to use a kitchen knife. I'm going to try to push the fibers inside. I don't know if you see this, they are loose here, so I'm pushing them down and inside the corner. And That's just to prevent so it doesn't come out later on after a while or something. And push it pretty far down. And yeah, and I don't care so much about the cans itself. I can make new ones if I want to. So you see, and you can push the whole textile a bit down inside of the cans. And this is pretty tight now, so I can hold it, doesn't come off, you see. If I can push this a bit more with the fingers, and yeah. Inside you see there's not much material, but you can see, I don't know if I can light, yeah, you might see that one there, the corner. That's where the alcohol fuel will get into the hole and get absorbed by the glass fiber material from the outside. I'm going to show you the first burn, and because I'm making this inside, I can't use too much, of course, but I want you to see how it works. I think it's okay now. As you can see, I can push pretty hard and it doesn't get off. I could make another hole here with a scissor or a drill or some other hard material, maybe a nail. Yeah, you could put another hole with a nail here. Just have two. That would probably take off any chances of getting vacuum when you put the pot on the stove. I'm going to get some fuel now, and I'm going to show you when I light it up and how it looks when it burns, when it starts, and how I can start the fire or the lightning of the stove from the outside. I'm going to put some fuel inside of just a bit. I don't want to start a fire at home. I have a fire alarm here, so I'm going to show you. You could light this on the side, and what I'm doing, I put alcohol inside and just made a bit of circulation. The holes inside of the inner can will let, and I already feel it. That's how fast it goes. I already feel the alcohol here. It's getting cold up on the material here. So I could probably already light it from the side here. So if you, for example, have something that you're going to cook, it holds the pot or whatever you put on it. Okay, this is a bit wobbly, but if I'm using, for example, this one, it's more stable. So a coffee can, then I can light it from inside, and that's what the hole is for, so that I don't put out the fire if it's burning. Now in the beginning, when I'm starting the fire, I probably would not do it this way. I would start the fire just to be sure that it burns. And I'm going to show you, and I'm going to put the light off so that you see it better. So you see, that's how fast. I don't know if you, yeah, you see it. That's how fast it starts. And when it gets hot, then this whole part will, as you saw, then it starts to burn. That's why I'm using this one. I'm going to put it outside. I just wanted to show you how it burns. I had to go out. It wasn't safe inside. That was why I used this. I could take it out if I wanted. You see here I have a pot, a coffee pot with water. I'm just putting it on, and then you will see how. So even if you have a bigger pot, then it will work with this type of stove. So it's a good and functional alcohol stove. And you hear that it doesn't sound much at all. And we have winter now. It's a lot of snow. It's about, I think, -7 at the moment outside. So not a problem to cook water or food or whatever you want to use this for. A fast, simple solution. And this is how it looks without the pot. It's about to go. It doesn't have much alcohol left, I think. And at the end you might be able to blow it out, but be careful so that you don't have fuel left in it. So when you do that. You see, I couldn't blow out the stove. That makes it really good in wind conditions. The small amount that I used, I would be able to cook in this condition, winter condition, around 1 liter in just a few minutes. Very efficient. So you see there, that's the last part now. Yeah. It just came out. It's still a bit, you can feel that it's been used, but it's not too hot. And you see that it got a bit colorized on the glass fiber, but that doesn't make any difference. As I showed you, the old glass fiber looked the same. I've been using it for 2 years, so this will last me 2 more years also. And the old one would work actually, so I just changed it because I wanted to make this content and just show you how you can make a very efficient burner in a short time and maybe have a small project. If you would like to make something your own. Yeah, that was my first do-it-yourself video, a burner. One of my other videos, except the one when I'm out in the forest, I will release in maybe a week or something. After that I will make another video of me fixing some old Norwegian skis, which I hope to use later this winter for a trip. country skis. So that's a maintenance video. It's not a do-it-yourself because I didn't make the skis, but yeah, it's I do a lot of work on the skis. So that I will release also as a in-between video, you could call it. Yeah, that was all for me this time. Have a nice day and week, and hopefully a good year next year. And if you like this, give me a thumb up, subscribe if you have interest of seeing more videos, and yeah, have a nice time in the outdoors. And it doesn't need to be so complicated. Just go out, have a nice time, cook some food or coffee, tea, whatever, and just enjoy the wildlife and the nature if you have the possibility. Bye.